Yeah, back to it, on a hot LA night. These cups are great. You go to Target or whatever, get these motherfuckers, they keep the shit cool or hot. Yeah, sometimes you gotta keep it hot. But yo, what's up, man? It's your brother Young Hump, you know what I'm saying? Back at you with the Young Hump Talks, you know what I mean? So look, boom. Today, so I watched that Ice-T Drink Champs, my nigga, Big Ice, man. Listen, I'm gonna talk about that album because I want to bring some key points to it. I'm gonna start with that, yeah. But nah, you know what? I'm gonna make the point for that real quick. So listen, this is a jewel I want to drop on some of y'all that ain't really maybe as like advanced or seasoned or serious with this rap shit as a listener. I'm not talking about rappers, but listen, I'm not trying to talk down to nobody. I'm trying to talk and lift you up. Listen, I remember when I was young as fuck and all I was listening to what was new at the time. And people would try to put me up on some rap that came before that, and I was like, nah, I'm on the new shit. This is the new shit. As I matured and got older, I always found myself looking deeper and further back because it's never taken away nothing from what's going on right now, but there's a wisdom that comes from the old shit. You know what I mean? Like, and with the rap music, you know, like in sports, everybody looks back towards Michael Jordan and all that shit. You know what I mean? But in music, particularly rap music, because rap music is like, so much of it is about giving motherfuckers game and wisdom and pearls and shit. You know what I mean? Them brothers from a time from before was coming with some different shit. And even if we not, I'm gonna jump all over the place because that's what it is sometimes. Bounce. But even energetically, like when you listen to that, that's what rock, the shit, but that, come on, baby, pop. When you listen to that, you could be, if your mind isn't mature, you could just listen to the production, and because it's not the drum sounds that you like, your ear may not tune into it because it don't have the boom, right? Or they're not mentioning the fashion brands that you like to wear. But there might be, there's energy there. There's definitely is energy there that you can grab. Like when we hear them niggas, come on, baby, it's like, absorb that. Every syllable is filled with just, look at what we getting it popping. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. That's why all the energy masters can give you that shit, because they charge with that. So that's just energy. But then when you listen to like the wisdom, like Ice-T, right? Man, I listen to, you know what I mean? Big up to Drink Champs having him on again because they know he's such a source of wisdom and inspiration. But I went back and listened to that album OG. He got the smoothest songs breaking down. He breaking down cats doing too much and getting them shit themselves in fucked up situations. He got songs about people that don't have the right integrity. He got a song in there called Mind Over Matter, which is about visualizing what you want to come. This is years before all this, you know, the modern recasting of law of attraction and abundance and 369 and all these things we see sweeping the internet. This nigga was on this shit in like 91 or whatever that was. And Mind Over Matter. And just, you know, he got songs about, man, he got a rock and roll song in there, the first Body Count record, and the intro to the song. He doesn't just go into the song, it's like a little interview, and the interviewer is like, Ice, you know, so you making this, you know, paper now, people acting like you sell out, you doing this rock shit, you act whatever. And he explains, he's like, well, nah, you know what it is I've always liked rock and roll, and I feel bad for anyone who just listens to one type of music. Iceberg gave you that then. And I remember back in the day, man, niggas used to brag about not listening to nothing but rap. We weren't even fucking with R&B like that. He was on that shit early. Like, my people, I'm telling y'all, you need to expand. And now I'm an individual that I'll let you know in a minute. There's some slapping ass country songs out there. What's that one song? There's that one country song that sounds like Ice-T wrote it. The one "Fuck You, Bitch." That shit is amazing. You think it's a spoof song? It's a real song, but it's a real country artist. But anyways, sidebar. But yeah, what I'm getting at is he would drop these jewels on you because he say it like, hey, you know, I feel bad for anyone who only listens to one type of music. But he says it real clear, so it's like, boom, plant that seed. And that whole album is filled with just jewels of thought, man. You know what I mean? So ladies, we just ain't talking about you because you scary ass niggas are bitches too. Because a lot of y'all niggas are like jewels, man. Like the song about the motherfucker that had a paper, but he drinking and driving and he ain't here no more. You got songs about, I mean, it just, man, like, it's powerful shit, man. It's powerful shit. And so bringing it back to the top is what I'm saying is, see, you want to be smart. You want to have wisdom, right? You want to run around and get turned up and be lit and popping and all that. You want to be sexy. You want to have swag. You want to have drip. You want to be whatever, whatever. But all that shit is going to be enhanced if this motherfucker right here is enhanced. So you need to build your thinking. You need to structure your life in a way that throughout your day-to-day, on a weekly basis, you make time to import things into your mind that will make you smarter so you can then think about things clearer and do things to make you smarter. Because if you want to have drip, smart motherfuckers dress really well. They put thought into it. You want to be lit, smart motherfuckers make moves to position themselves and be swift so they can be lit. You want to have swag, smart motherfuckers pay attention and think about how they want to, you know, all of that shit come from here, mind over matter. So you need to make time to, and make the effort and prioritize doing things and absorbing things that's gonna get this motherfucker moving. Like the way you be in the gym, like, look, I'm a slim nigga, but these motherfuckers is getting there. But see, I'm the nigga that traditionally has spent more time working on this than I'm working on my arms. When I get these motherfuckers, I'm gonna be like the Vesuvian man on some shit. My shit is then, you know, but see right here, this is the gun show right here. When I put it together, you heard me snapping on some shit, stop fucking around. But anyways, what I'm saying is, you really want to develop this because this is your most important muscle. You know what I mean? Because this governs all. When we go through our little emotional shit or whatever, it's your mind that makes sure you don't do too much. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. So, like, you know, listening to the little lit niggas that just pop all that whoop wop about what they're gonna do to you and how they fucking your bitch and all that and shit. It's fun and it sounds good but like, how much of that is really some shit that you're going to be able to take with and apply to your life to make yourself better versus listening to motherfuckers that's really, you know, like, it's like Too Short, right? Perfect example. A lot of people, when they just think of Too Short, they just think of bitch, but that nigga have tons of songs talking about the ghetto, talking about the pit, like the song, The Ghetto. You know what I mean? Talking about, he got numerous songs explaining to you the pitfalls of being a gangster, being in that life. So you want to be a gangster, you know, that ain't cool. Like the nigga, you know, these niggas, Ice-T and Too Short are great examples of artists that when you just, the average person, you think of them, you just think of the stereotype gangster pimp shit, but really they have song after song after song on multiple albums advising you and warning you of the pitfalls of that shit, man. You know what I mean? And then not just to be so heavy, but even just giving you a little, you know, everyday, you know, game to handle your situations, whether it be with your business affairs, how you move strategically, your relationship shit, whatever, man. Just, you know what I mean? You know, thinking big and not belittling yourself in some sucker shit. And as Ice-T said, famously, one of my favorite quotes, he said, the worst thing in life you can do is play yourself. So think of it like that. But yeah, so I just want to share that with y'all, you know what I mean? And all the OGs, I mean, look, here's the funny thing. I know some OGs that be on some shit. All they want to do is listen to the new shit, and they feel a way about going back to the old shit because they just want to dress like the young new styles and shit, just listening to the new shit. Nah, you know what I mean? Because I know some niggas that are 19, 22 years old, and they don't listen to nothing coming out right now because they really focus on absorbing the gems from a different time. It's like a filmmaker who studies all the classic Scorsese and the classic Stanley Kubrick and the classic whoop-de-wop from the day, and they're not really tripping on all necessarily the new movies. I mean, to a degree, you know, ultimately, both are extreme. You really want to be in the middle. You want to absorb the best that came before you, and you want to carefully select the best of what's out now. You really just want, you know, the best so you can absorb it. But what I'm saying particularly, aside from just musicality, I'm speaking about good game. Like, put it to you this way. Do you think you're going to get better advice from your... Now, not everybody has, you know, older brothers or older cousins or uncles or parents that are necessarily wise and give them the right direction. But, you know, most people have somebody in their life that's older, wiser, that's going to give them some game. And then they have somebody that's their age that's going to give them some fucked up advice. Now, not saying they don't have, you might have friends younger than you that give you some amazing advice, and all the older people in your life could be full of shit. But statistically speaking, you're more likely to get more useful advice for people that have been around a little bit longer, have figured some things out, and are probably calmer and less in their feels on some emotional shit. So you sort of like, it's the same way to music. And I'm speaking in generalization because goddamn, I can't customize a scenario for everybody. But typically speaking, it's the same way with music. You know what I'm saying? Like listening to music from the wiser perspective, you know what I mean, is going to benefit you more, because a lot of the music now is on some fuck shit. I mean, as I said before in the previous video, perfect example is R&B. Back in the days, it was, you know, you're the one for me. Now it's, leave me alone, I can't talk to you, you're not, I don't really want to even detach, you can't touch me, I'm so, you know, it's different. You know what I mean? Now it's like, so yeah, so just point that I'm making is, loved one, pay attention to the music from the rap music from the past that give you that good game. And also too, on some artist shit, I'm gonna give you this jewel too. See, as you mature and your ears mature, when you early on, you just focusing on the styles that are like right now, right? You're focusing on the styles that are right now. So you're caught up in like, it's like if you were a dancer and you just look at the way everybody's dancing right now in the certain videos. They're like, we doing this is what we doing, this is what we doing. If that's all you looking at, how the fuck you gonna invent some shit? You need to look at some old school shit that motherfuckers was doing before that would be like, that's interesting. Look what they was doing back in them days. Shit. Bobby Brown and them niggas was wilding. You know what I mean? You think Chris Brown wasn't looking at Bobby Brown and motherfuckers before that, getting ideas to do all the amazing shit he does right now? You know what I mean? Like, you have to look at other things in general to be inspired, because you might not, like, you know, take a motherfucker's move. Hopefully you don't, but you might see if somebody does something a certain way, be like, that's interesting, to get your mind going. So it's the same way conceptually. A nigga that made a rap song in 1992, you might not have been born yet, right? Might say some shit, and they might been in a different world when they said it, but you might be like, I feel them though. And then you see how that shit pertains to your world. You know what I mean? So, but as I was saying, as an artist too, the feel, the energy changes forms. Whatever you saying on your iPhone 14, the energy that you're expressing from you to the person on the other end is no different than the energy a motherfucker was standing in a post office type of place 100 years ago, telling a motherfucker to Morse code that shit. You know what I mean? Because it's so you understand energy switches, like the means to get it from here to there is different. So the style, the context, the texture, the whatever. But if you tap into the energy, you can grab feelings. That's why I said, well, when the niggas pop, and I'm gonna tell you motherfuckers, like, you might hear that and you might be on some trap shit and you might be on some, but you might be like, you might put a little thump on it and then do it, give it a little extra pop. You know what I mean? And now you lit. So whatever, but back to man, bump that Ice-T album, man. OG, original gangster. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much G on that shit, man. So much game for y'all. And I just want y'all to know, man, listen to the music. You know what I mean? I'm gonna share this drill with y'all, and then I'm gonna slide up out of here because daddy's hot right now. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just take this shit off and shit. But guy once told me, one of my mentors once told me, he was talking about music, and at the time he said that, now no form of music ever died. Let's just be clear. So don't take this quote out of context. But he said that rock and roll died when the rock and roll musicians started only listening to rock and roll. And this is an older dude, so he was there seeing it happen in like the 90s when shit, because back in the day, rock and roll was everything. And like, it ran the whole shit. But like from the 60s and 70s, all the music's, if you look at the concerts they used to have, like nowadays, we're in an era where you got all these festivals like, whatever, big festivals, Coachella, this, that, whatever, where it's like 1 million bands, different types of music. But aside from those big festivals, everything else is one genre. So it's Coachella, Rolling Loud, the big festival, 1 million bands, or it's all hip hop artists here, all R&B, all rock, all whatever, jazz, all funk, whatever, all reggae, whatever. But back in the days, it could, like, for example, you could go to a show now, let's say it's DJ Quick, Ice Cube, and the Dog Pound, right? Back in the 70s, it would be the equivalent of just 3 big artists like that, but it could be DJ Quick, SWV, and Blink 182. Like, it could be 3 just artists of 3 different genres in a like a nice sized venue, but not like a humongous festival like that. And because what I'm getting at, if you're following me, because I'm trying to put this together, this is all just for you. Music was more together, like intermingled. So that inspired shit. That's why music from them days was a lot more, they would have saxophone solos on, now you only hear like saxophone solos really on, you don't hear it on rock and roll. You don't hear it on hip hop unless Terrace Martin, Big Up, or something like that is on it. You know what I mean? Which is like, but you don't hear it like normally. You don't hear guitar solos like that in the middle of, everything is whatever. I don't mean to lose y'all, you know what I mean? But just what I'm saying is keep your ears open to different things. Bring different wisdom into your life. Listen to some of the old school OGs that have some real game and some styles you ain't thinking about. Because the smartest motherfuckers, like, I'll give you an example. Kendrick Lamar, right? Definitely one of the best rappers. And one of his secrets a lot of people don't know is that nigga be listening to some different shit. And he's very scientific and studious with what he listens to and what he approaches, like how he approaches, I'm going to listen to this to learn about it. He ain't just sitting up just listening to whatever. And that goes out from other types of music to rap. You know what I mean? There's a lot of dudes like that are lyrical, that consider themselves lyricists, and they're not going to listen to the niggas that don't really flex penmanship. They just have the delivery, the flow that everybody likes. You know what I mean? Smart motherfuckers is gonna listen to all that shit. You know what I mean? Like I fucks with like I listen to Young Thug, you know, and not be really grasping everything he's saying. But you know. But I'm also gonna sit and listen to some lyricist niggas that you will never hear of in your life. That his flow ain't really even that, doesn't sound that good because it's just got information in it and just intelligence to it. So you really gotta like, it's the same way you could eat some really tasty food, but that might not be that great for you because you want to feel that. But then you got to eat some shit that's just really good and hearty and nutritious that might not be as flavorful as that. Sometimes it's fried chicken. Sometimes it's some, you know, some homeopathic meal cooked by some sprouted, you know, it's different shit. So anyways, that's what we on. Versatility, getting the best of everything, you know, expanding ourselves intellectually, spiritually. And so tap in with all sources, but in particular, the highlight of this video is listen to them niggas that had the wise words in their motherfucking lyrics, even if you it isn't your like favorite type of beats like that. You know what I mean? Learn some shit, because you can learn some shit, and you have to get your mind into thinking that if everything was made for you the way you like it, that ain't how it works. So ain't no if. But if you're only gonna pay attention to shit made for you, you're gonna be real fucking basic out here, and that's not what you want to do. You know, sometimes you don't even have to really necessarily like some shit to see how important it is, and learn from it, and gain wisdom that you might not get from something that you love normally. So take that with you to you know what I mean, run with that, build on that, expand upon that, try it out. I recommend you listen to Ice-T Original Gangster and hear what that wise king had to share with y'all. That's everlasting wisdom, and that's coming from your brother Young Hump. I love y'all. I'm motherfucking out. Holla.